actually get a yes on a sale? Or how do you close? And do you even need to close? Find out on this episode of Authentic Selling TV. There is a sales verbatim that says the ABC of selling is always be closing. I detest that because relationships aren't always ready to be closed. I mean, think about I've used this analogy before. You go out on a date and you're like, I don't know about this. Like, yeah, maybe there'll be a second date, maybe there won't, I don't know. And the person you're on the date with is like, oh my God, I love you, I want to marry you. You were clearly not ready to be closed, right? And that ain't gonna work. So I understand the sentiment of always be closing, but if I had to change it, I would say always be prospecting. But if we're talking about closing, and what is closing? What is closing? Closing's a word that, gosh, closing's been taught so poorly that people just have a fear about it. Closing is when someone is actually your customer. So meaning they've gone from I'm interested, I've had the sales call, I've read your sales page, to here's my money, they've paid you. That's closing the deal. Yes does not close the deal. Sales calls do not close deals. They're actually closed when the person pays you, or when the person writes the script, or when the person signs the contract. So a sales call, sure, you want to get a yes in a sales call if you can, but the actual close usually happens when the sale is done, when the money exchanges hands. So yes, short answer to do you need to close? Yes, if you want to make money. But closing doesn't have to be one of those things where it's like, oh God, I feel so bad. Bite my nails. Like, we don't want it to feel like that. So we're going to divide closing into two huge steps, okay? And step one is either the sales call or your sales page. And if you're a corporate sales rep, it is where you move from information getting stage to asking for the business. So that, and then there's follow-up. So closing has two steps, okay? I know I said you don't close in sales calls, but if you do sales calls or if you're calling on people, there is a change from engagement to closing in what you do. So we need to acknowledge that. So closing is kind of a two-step process, although the deal is not closed until money exchanges hands. Step one is either the sales call, the sales page, or if you're a face-to-face sales rep, when you ask for the business. And then step two is follow-up. So there are a lot of people who teach you need to get a yes. You need to get agreement before you move into exchanging money. Of course you do. But you need to get agreement in the sales call. I don't necessarily subscribe to that level of selling. It's great if somebody says, I'm in, where do I sign? Send me the link. But that's not been my reality in selling for 12 years. Does that make me a bad sales rep? I don't think so, because I hit my quotas and I have great relationships with people. I just don't want to force people into an answer. I don't want to be so arrogant to think that I've given the slam dunk best sales presentation in the world in 10 minutes and you need to give me all your money. Like, that's arrogant. That's an old way of selling, and it just doesn't work for today's society. You know, today's society is a more informed group of consumers than we have ever been because of the internet. Even 80% of C-level executives, before they make a purchase for the business, research on LinkedIn and research on the internet. So they're informed. By being informed, it also means they know when you are blowing smoke up their dress. They know when you're just saying stuff to close the deal. They also are really clear on what they think they need and what they think they want. So maybe 20 years ago, a handshake and a pat on the back, and you could go out and have a drink at the bar with your boy, allowed you to close a deal, but that's not reality anymore. And if it is your reality, I will tell you, things are moving away from that. You need some new tools in your bag of tricks, or you are going to end up from being the top sales rep at the bottom super quick. So what do? Well, number one is, understand how to have sales conversations. And I, I will tell you, I've got a fantastically fun, incredible tool where I partnered with the Boy Band Project that will entertain you. It will have you laughing, and it will teach you the 10 steps to close a sales call. And it's free. It's called I Want It 10 Ways. And literally, the Boy Band Project wrote a song with my sales process, and it's fabulous. There's a music video, so we'll put that link in here for you where you can watch that video. However, the part of the sales call that gets a little wonky, actually, there are lots of parts of the sales call that get wonky, let's be real. I think that some of the biggest mistakes I see people making are they talk too much about themselves. They don't take control of the call. You got to take control of the call. Nobody wants to buy from you if you're not an expert. So if you are a weight loss coach and you get on and say, you know, tell me about why you want to lose weight, and the person starts, when I was born, I was a little bit heavy baby. And they go into like, then I was in kindergarten, and then I was in first grade, and then I was in second grade, and you're like, oh my God, this call is going to last forever. We've got to be able to lovingly redirect. A great way to do that is say, hey, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I also want to be super respectful of your time. Let me ask you some questions to make sure I'm understanding what you're trying to say. You need to be in control of the call. You need to, if somebody gets on and says, look, what's the price? I just need to know what the price is. That's a no for me. I'm like, I totally understand. I need to make sure I understand what you need before I can give you a price. I would hate to give you the wrong price or misquote you. So I need to understand a little bit more about what you're looking to do and if I can indeed help you. So again, you need to be in control of the call. The other thing that you want to make sure you do inside a sales call is use tactical empathy. Thank you for sharing that with me. I understand. So anyone who is on a sales call, who is sharing a problem area, right? They're on a sales call with you because they've got a problem they want to fix, or they've got something they want to change in their life, their health, their business, whatever. And so what happens so much is we jump straight into touchdown, I can help you. Yes, I got this. You're my perfect client. I'm going to pay rent this month. That's the wrong thing to do. You think about this. Somebody's just gotten on a Zoom call with you. They've shared an area that they are working on that they want to, you're help in solving. And so the way to deal with that is, thank you for sharing that with me. I understand. It's called tactical empathy. It is a tool, a strategy used by the FBI hostage negotiations team when they are negotiating with hostage takers. It diffuses the situation and it works. Thank you for sharing that with me. I understand how it feels. Then you can transition straight into being in control of the call and selling. That's exactly why I created blah, 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 to take you from where you said you were to. You always want to, in a sales call, and I know we're talking about closing, but mirror the customer's language. So if the customer says, I want to lose some weight so that I can go into my 30-year high school reunion feeling hotter at 50 than I did at 18. And you say, that's exactly why I created Live More Whatever, so you can lose some weight. That's not what the customer said. You missed the whole emotion of that. So you want to mirror their language, okay? The other thing, and this freebie that I'm going to give you that has I Want It 10 Ways, it's got a whole script for you. So just know, like, I'm telling you the why behind this, but I'm going to give you the step-by-step way to do this. You need to, before you sell anything, you need to understand what is your big three. Your big overarching 3 benefits, or maybe it's 2. I like 3 because there's some psychology behind 3, but whatever, that you can go to every time. So that's the exact reason I created blah, 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 to take you from feeling like you want to lose some weight, and walk into that high school 30-year reunion feeling hotter at 50 than you did at 18, to what are your big 3? Do more, feel better, live longer, close more clients, make more money, find more clients, close more clients, make more money. Results, revenue, raving fans. I'm loving it. I mean, there are all kinds of, like, what are your big three? And if your big three is not a Facebook group, it's not coaching, it's not a book, it is what you're going to do for people. It's your big three benefits. You need to know how to come up with those, period. If you don't, ring the bell and subscribe to this channel. We're going to teach you. So now you're understanding how to have sales calls. The other best practice I'm going to give you for sales calls is check for impact before you share the investment. So always check for impact. What questions do you have about all of this stuff that I've shared with you? You can even do an agreement close right here. So you can even say, okay, great, I've shared all the things that we're going to do, how it's going to help you. If we can make the finances work, is this something you want to move forward with? If this fits into your budget, is this something you want to move forward with? You don't have to use that, but you can. That tells you, are they sold on the features and benefit and what you're offering? If they say no, then you haven't likely, you're missing something. And that's a good opportunity for you to redirect and say, what's missing from this? What is it that you need to achieve or you want to achieve or how we're doing this that doesn't exactly line up for you? I want to hear. Not because I want to sell you, but I want to understand your needs. So you always check for impact before investments. And then you share the investment. And y'all, whoever is teaching this, stop. Stop. The investment is $5 million. Who's going to talk first? I can't talk because my coach said say the investment and just sit there. God, it's so uncomfortable. Stop doing that. That is not how you talk to other human beings. It's this like weird fight between willpower. Just stop. I know the psychological reason people say to do it, and I'm telling you, you don't have to be that person. Stop it now. So what you can do is what a normal human being and not a robot would do and say, the investment is $5 million. What questions do you have? Because I care about you. I don't care about if you speak first or not. I mean, yeah, can y'all tell I'm passionate about that one? And then you're going to answer questions. And inside of ASU, we give you 19 tools for overcoming objections so that you know exactly what to say, no matter what they say. They say, I can't afford it. Here's how you close off of that. They say, I need to talk to my spouse. Here's how you close off of that. They are literal verbatims that you can print off and have at your desk and use. You don't have to push for a yes on that call. Remember, our closing is two-pronged. So you've had the call. Great. So I appreciate that you need some time to think about that. I do this too in my household. I'm going to send you a PDF, print it out, put it next to your desk, jot down any questions that come up as you think about this, and I'm going to follow up and make sure that I've answered all your questions. And then you transition into step 2 of closing, which is follow-up. Now, here's the beautiful thing about follow-up. I can teach you how to follow up. It's going to take me about 90 minutes. But you ain't going to watch this YouTube video for 90 minutes. I know you. You got things to do just like I got things to do, honey. So instead of me teaching you all the whys and the what and the how fors, how about I just give them to you? Literally the 19 closes you use in follow-up communication. And you can get those inside of Authentic Selling University today. We'll link it below. All the whats, all the how-tos, you literally copy and paste them. And if that's not enough, I'm going to give you an entire library of follow-ups done for you that you can literally take and tweak to your business. The 4 steps in follow-up are insert greeting, tell why you're following up, love talking to you today, thank you so much. Insert a compliment. One thing I loved learning about you was if you can't give them a compliment, you don't need to work with them. The area that you want to work on is blah, 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 blah. And thank you for sharing that with me. I understand. And here's how we're going to do that. And you insert one of those tools. I guarantee you will close more sales using those 19 closes than if you just wing it. It's done for you. You don't even have to think about it. And what will happen is after you use these closes, you will get so comfortable closing that you won't even need to look at them anymore. You'll find a couple that really get into your rhythm and you're like, yeah, I got this. I got this. So closing in the authentic selling universe is a two-pronged thing. It's the sales page or it's the sales call. And again, moving people through this. And I gave you some best practices on what not to do in the sales call, you know, how you need to be in control, how you need to mirror the language, how you can redirect if somebody starts talking for 9,000 minutes, how you always check for impact before the investment, how you don't say the investment and sit there like a knot on a log. And then how you can move that conversation into follow-up and getting the actual money in your bank account. So to get that incredible resource, click the link above, below, wherever. Click the link below and read all about what Authentic Selling University will do for you. You will learn how to find and close more customers in a very tactical, practical, step-by-step way, because that's what we do. And make sure you ring the bell for more tactical, practical, incredible sales advice. And I believe in you, and I believe in your business. Bye, y'all.